people with severe mental ill health, SMI, experience significant health inequalities compared to people without this diagnosis. The O.W.L.S study was set up to explore how the COVID-19 pandemic and its associated restrictions affected people with SMI and suggests ways to mitigate against widening health inequalities. 367 participants were recruited from a range of demographics within England. We asked about behaviours known to be harmful to health, and we found that whilst 12% of people reported smoking less during the pandemic, over half of the respondents who smoke were smoking more than before the pandemic. Results showed that just under 50% of people who took part were doing less physical activity than they did prior to the COVID-19 restrictions. Of those who drink alcohol, 29% said that they were drinking more, and 27% said that they were drinking less than usual. Younger people and people who reported experiencing a worsening of their physical health were more likely to report an increase in behaviours harmful to health. Younger people and people who lived alone were more likely to experience loneliness. We see the same pattern in the general population, but importantly, people with SMI were more at risk of loneliness than people without SMI. Feelings of social connectivity were associated with living with others. The majority of people who took part in the study had internet access and a device to connect with. However, when we asked about digital skills, we found that 42% of people with SMI did not have foundation digital skills. These are basic skills such as using passwords and device settings, and lacking these skills leads to digital exclusion. In the general population, 19% of people do not have these basic digital skills. Those who are more able to use the internet were likely to be younger and have bipolar disorder rather than a psychosis spectrum disorder. The three biggest barriers to internet use were people not being interested in using the internet, finding the internet too difficult to use, and security concerns. The majority of people reported that they had been able to access both physical and mental health services when needed, and a face-to-face meeting increased the likelihood that people felt that their needs had been met. In summary, people with SMI will need additional support to prevent worsening of existing health inequalities. Support will particularly be needed to help people stop smoking and take more exercise, in addition to further support from mental health services. Furthermore, support will need to be delivered in a way that works for the individual and not assume that everyone has access to and can use the internet, or that appointments delivered remotely provide people with the care they need. To find out more, please visit owlsresearch.york.ac.uk/home.